welcome again to our annual membership meeting. Um, we'll continue the last part of our agenda from our board meeting. It was tribal outreach. Um, I think we need to continue that as is kind of obvious with our membership in our meeting today. We need to try and get representation from our centers to get them on the same time frame, get us all back in that same 3 months. Every 3 months, we'll have this meeting at 1 p.m. Daylight savings time, Mountain Daylight Savings Time. And again, I think each of us in our centers, if there's names or other entities that you want us to outreach to, other tribal leaders that you would like to include in some of our mailings, I think we need to do that, expand our outreach. That was going to be my suggestion. I was hoping to attend the Leading Age conference in Washington in a little over a week, but it never worked out. We never got any communication back from Leading Age, and so I just kind of dropped it. And I know there'll be other opportunities in the future to go to that Leading Age executive conference in Washington, D.C. I'd like to continue to bring together some of the entities that we've already established a relationship with in Washington, such as the Senate Indian Affairs Committee, and then all other bureaus there, and then also using Leading Age to continue our advocacy there. As many of you know, President Biden signed the 2022 budget just a few days ago, and in there is included the Indian Health Service budget. But again, there was nothing added in the line item for long-term services and supports. And I've been made aware of through my staff that's been assigned to me as NCAI Disability Subcommittee chairperson. Myself and other disability advocates have been trying to stay within the conversation of the White House, the administration, and that budget process. But as Ron has reminded me, he himself has reinforced my thought that in the Indian Health Service does not have the capacity to undertake a long-term service and supports program. They just have waited too long. They haven't dedicated their own funds to that process. Congress already directed those persons to start creating at Indian Health Service, to start creating long-term service and support system, but they haven't. And so again, it's really important that we stay abreast of this issue. I don't know where that long-term money is going to end up. Ron said that CMS, as Ron has assured me, it's with CMS, and that's how the billing process is going to work for now. So I also alerted Ron recently of a here in New Mexico, it was an overall increase in our EMR, or excuse me, our Medicaid rate, nothing to do with EMR, our Medicaid return rate for our nursing home residents had been increased by a few dollars, right, Ron?
Correct.
Did you ever find out the actual dollars? I was hoping that Melissa would be here today, that she might know that, or share that with us. But
I don't know. South Dakota just did a 6%. Nebraska did a $20 a day starting January 1. So the different states are looking at something. So I don't know the dollar amount for New Mexico, but I'm sure there's something there. Most of the states are doing something. It's not enough,
No.
but it's something, I guess. What they do in Wyoming, Tammy?
We haven't got yet. The last couple years, they haven't come out with our higher rate till about March or April, and then they do retro it back to January 1, but I don't really understand what's taking them so long. We had a substantial increase last year, but you know, I know a couple years it's only been $10 or $20 too, so it's hard to tell.
Well, Laguna Rainbow is definitely trying to work on an enhanced Medicaid rate, but our state is so behind the times, and also, or they present themselves as such, or they are so beholden to the managed care organizations. You know, New Mexico has always had a very high number of Medicaid recipients. Our population, I believe, is barely like 5 million, and almost half of our population is on Medicaid. So state of New Mexico has always had a over, you know, substantial burden as far as the Medicaid division goes. And it's always been, you know, we've always had substantial waiting lists for many of the services for our different entities, like for the developmental disability waiver, the and other Medicaid services, and had long years long waiting lists. But again, with this new money that came in from Congress this year, from Washington, I know that some relief has been provided. With the rising price of gasoline and oil here in New Mexico, we're so dependent on that gas dollar that every year we're reminded, billions of dollars supplement the New Mexico General Fund, and then in turn that supplements the Medicaid fund. So we're beholden to that industry, it seems, and it's so up and down, and that we at Laguna, we have to again create something of our own, and such as we are searching for that enhanced Medicaid rate. Any other updates from the other facilities? Your St. Patrick's Day activities, or April 1st activities, anything, your openings. I know that at Laguna Rainbow, we are now having family visits. Things are starting to go back to normal. Here at the Pueblo, our governor has loosened a lot of the restrictions up. So again, I know families are looking forward to that, and so are the elders, because again, they'll be able to participate in community activities again, which is dances and feast days. 2 days from now, Laguna Feast Day, Pueblo of Laguna Feast Day, Feast of St. Joseph. So I guess I'll have to be celebrating hearty that day.
So our governor of Wyoming on March 14th declared our state of emergency is done. We have been allowing visitors in since CMS updated that law. We actually throughout allowed visitors under comfort care laws, but our elders are ready to get out of here and go out in the community. So we did take our first little group shopping at Walmart yesterday, and they had smiles from wall to wall.
I'm sure.
So we're trying to do every party we can and get them out to every single place that they can go see that they haven't, been able to do.
Tiffany, you want to give everybody a little update on the emergency situation you had and what you did, and then where we're at? And you're muted. You're looking for the little.
Am I there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We had a flood on January 7th. Our sprinkler system froze and thawed out up in the ceiling, and it broke and damaged 2/3 of our building. So thankfully, we had enough room to keep our residents in the undamaged area. So we didn't have to send them out anywhere. And so we're just waiting to get our building repaired. But we have started allowing visitors even before this happened, when CMS allowed it. I'm excited about the Walmart trip. Our residents want to go to Walmart. So I don't know if we have to, I'd have to visit with our staff and see if we're ready for that. So our counties are dropping down from the red zone into the better zones, orange and blue and whatever they are. So we were just kind of waiting for them to drop down into the gray zone before we start taking them out.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thanks. I hear myself echoing, so I better get off.
Yeah, that was Tiffany's echoing.
That's fine, Tiffany. And I guess everybody's probably seen just in the last day or two that the 4th booster shot is going to be recommended from Pfizer. So I guess we're probably going to get our marching orders here at Laguna that we have to get in line. I know my brother-in-law, he's like, yeah, right, I'm not going to line up. But and he did catch the COVID, but he got over it. My sister's not too happy with him, but again, I think that's going to probably be affecting. Has anybody heard anything about a 4th COVID shot for our residents or communities?
Well, the last I heard is, it was the drug company recommending it, and CDC was taking it under advisement. So all the advertising you've been seeing so far is from Pfizer on television saying that they are recommending. CDC has not agreed to that yet. I guess if I was making the vaccine, I'd be recommending it too.
Well, again, it's just that it affects when it does, and if it does come down, it'll just be, another delay, and I'm not sure how it's going to affect our centers again. You can't come into the center until you've had your 4th vaccine shot. I mean, families, we just opened it up for families. Again, that it's not cool.
Joseph, if you'd like, I could give just a tiny little bit treasurer's report.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Ron, for getting that to us today. I did not have a chance to open it. So please, if you could give us our treasurer's report.
You bet.
Thank you.
Not a whole lot different from last month, guys. If you take a look at the balance sheet, you'll see that we have, almost $8,000 in the bank. And again, like I mentioned just a little bit ago, I will be getting invoices out. So, it'll generate probably, depending if the facilities can afford $1,000. I'm pretty sure Okolala Sioux Lakota Nursing Home and White River Healthcare Center, both of those, Tiffany and Brandy, I think both of those facilities are in a position. I would imagine that Deb Medicine will also be able to pay the $1,000. And then we'll just have to see whether or not Tammy can, and reach back out to Travis over at Archie Hendricks and see if we can think of any other nursing homes out there that might be willing to do that. And then we'll try to get the $50 individual memberships from people. So we'll be getting those invoices out. If you take a look at the profit and loss statement, again, this is just for January and February. There really hasn't been hardly any activity. You can see that we only had one membership, single membership come in, and some office supplies going out. So for the 2 months, we had a whopping $112 negative, and that goes back and reconciles to the balance sheet. So currently we have $8,000 in the bank, and we don't have any bills, and we'll be getting the membership fees out, and that should generate, you know, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. But it's still nowhere. I mean, it's better than being broke, but you know, nowhere close to where we could come to the next level of getting an executive director, because we've all said, you know, that's what it's going to take for us to get going, have an executive director that can work at 40 hours a week and do what needs to be done. I know Dr. B had some ideas that we're talking to, and Joseph, I guess you do too.
I do. You know, again, it's I'm not sure how much funds we can generate from a golf tournament. But that was an opportunity that just presented itself to me. I would have to do the legwork in making my presentations to invite tribes and leaders to buy into a golf tournament, to make, and then again, I feel that that's part of my job, is to do the schmoozing, getting in their ear to talk about how U.N.I.T.E is a worthwhile investment. And then also, I thought we could pursue again, Ron, the grants from the Native Seeds grant from the Mystic Lake, Shakopee, and then perhaps there's other grants with the California tribes. I know we don't have any members from California right now, but I think we could, again, start reaching out to assisted living. And then in my capacity at NCAI, also trying to do some arm twisting there as far as bringing other donations in. But until we get a large grant, again, we're not going to be able to hire an executive director yet. So. But we can still search and keep looking. Again, we have a lot of friends in high places that are wanting us to apply, but we just need to present a proper package and a good proposal so that we do get that award. Again,
Joseph, another topic, as Christina said, they'll be looking to U.N.I.T.E for the long-term services webinar for May and July. Had we discussed this with Dr. B? Did he have some ideas, or we need to reach back out to him? I don't know if he's still on the call, if he got off or what.
It looks like he's off the call right now. But we'll have to touch with him as far as the topics go for the webinar. What he and I again have discussed was that grant proposal that he had in front of him. There hasn't been any topics, but again, if any other members have topics, please send those in, or any guests that you want to include. Continuing from last year, are there topics or for webinars that Debbie had wanted us to pursue? I can't recall. She had directed me at one point to try and find a speaker related to disability, long-term services, and disability. So I am, of course, going to keep working on bringing in the proper person to talk about that. But they're very few and far between. So we have to bring a team together, I think. So again, thanks for that reminder, Ron.
Well, I know we're going to have to really put our thinking caps on to come up with 2 topics, because May will jump on us very soon. I don't have any ideas right off the top of my head, but we're gonna have to come up with something.
Yes, because they both take time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There's been some of the initiatives taken up by Department of Interior, Deborah Holland's office, the missing and murdered Indigenous women, and then also the boarding school issues with the children and their passing there and the abuse that they took. My thought related to that is that there's going to be an increased need for behavioral health services related to these areas if we're going to be digging up all those ghosts in all those places. And look, some families, a lot of our elders have, yes, they have missing loved ones, but they've turned the page. And if these doors are going to be opened again, I would say we have to be prepared for that trauma that it is going to be opened up again for some of our elders. Maybe they're missing their grandchildren, and if the laws, if there's these cases are reopened, are we going to have to, ensure we keep an eye on our folks regarding that heartbreak. Same with the boarding school, the loss of those children and families, loved ones. We're opening doors that we might not be prepared, or we might miss the signs for, I guess you could say. That was just my thought off the top of my head about things that are happening right now in Indian country.
I think, though, that falls under the trauma-informed care,
Okay.
because we had a webinar on that in the last year or 2. Those traumas fall under that we already, have to watch for and try to navigate. I don't know.
Good.
Further.
Well, again, we're aware of it, and hopefully we'll get those. We'll get cooperation from the Department of Interior when and if those, hearings are held, and stuff like that.
Right.
You are prepared. But anyway, yeah. Again, we just need to come up with good webinar issues. Again, it can be broad. Another area that I was thinking again, as I always harp on, is that where are long-term services and supports really going to be housed in our communities, and who's defining LTSS for us?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, all tribes, all they're aware, their only concept of LTSS perhaps is assisted living or daycare, and that's fine, adult daycare. Mm-hmm. But again,
okay, I hate to sign off, but Ina and I've got to go help do a party, so we've got to jet on you guys.
Oh, you're no fun. That's no fun.
Well, you've got to see, we've got the little fun stuff on here. We're ready to go.
No, you're excused. We appreciate your input.
See you guys.
Thank you for your input. Take care.
Okay.
We'll talk to you next month, or talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks, Tammy. Bye-bye. Yep. So again, on that note, again, we'll just keep doing making sure that we update our membership lists. Ron's going to be sending out invoices as reminders. And again, we'll just ensure that we try and get everybody back to our membership meeting.
I just got an email from Travis, and for whatever reason, he was having some difficulty getting on. So he tried, but it just didn't work for him.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Well, again, we'll have our next membership meeting coming up in the summer. Let's see, June, the June time frame, third Thursday of June. And but we'll definitely have our next board meeting a month from now also. And hopefully we'll have some good updates, some of the opportunities we are pursuing. And again, we'll send out reminders about some of our asks from today, which are the topics for webinar, and any other updates that people can provide, photos and stories of from their facilities. Again, this is basketball season, and I know South Dakota was playing a few minutes ago. They were still in the game, but I think they were down with only a minute to go. So I'm not sure. I didn't get an update if South Dakota came through. But again, a lot of our residents take pride in basketball. So they had a big game down in Phoenix a couple of weeks ago with the Apaches against the Navajos. The Apaches won. So I think some of those activities are opening up, and maybe our residents in the future can, with the proper care, can go to some of that, or proper staffing can go to some of those activities. So anyway, it's 1:30 now, and so I guess we can close.
Joseph, you want to reach out to Wayne over there at,
okay.
Yeah, he ought to join U.N.I.T.E and just get his address so I can send him an invoice.
Will do.
And then see, because Arizona got the enhanced rate. So if he's not doing that, U.N.I.T.E could help him get going on that.
Well, I think the last time we heard from Wayne a year ago or longer was he was always working on getting more money to build more. He wanted to build more for his vets, if I'm not mistaken. He had gotten that facility built for his everybody else, for his Dene residents, but then he was also working on vets. So, but yeah, I'll reach out to him. I was, well, there's a new director, a nominee at the Indian Health Service. So a few of us are going to be trying to enter in dialogue with her. And just if she's not already aware of our LTSS needs, we're going to remind her that she needs to, pay attention to those needs. So her name is Rosalind So from Navajo Nation also. So again.
Okay. Well, I got to bail too, guys. I'll see you.
Thanks for everything, you guys. And you guys have a good rest of your St. Patrick's Day. Thanks, Christina, KAI. And I'll be reaching out to you to continue this work.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.